Good evening, TheoTrade. This is Corey Rosenblum, and you're watching the Theo Nightly Video for the 24th of November here in 2020, as we have the bullish holiday creep taking us up, in the case of the S&P, just a little bit shy of new all-time highs. And the Nasdaq, that's strange enough, but it's a little weaker than the other indices, which has not been the case through most of 2020. The Nasdaq's been the strongest index. Keep in mind this high before the Corona crash and the recovery, compare that to the S&P. We're above it, yes, but not this much above it. So the Nasdaq is not quite at those all-time highs just yet, but the Dow is. So the Dow Jones, the big headline of the day, this is actually the Dow Jones futures, but it did cross above the 30,000 print. That's the key level to watch, the key inflection point. And if we look at the weekly chart, I know it's a futures contract, but still, we'll pull back a little bit farther to a 10-year chart. There's a lot of volatility in this Dow futures contract, especially earlier in the Corona crash. Here's the Nasdaq, not that big of a crash, and the S&P. So just relatively speaking, the one thing I haven't talked about yet is the Russell, which is joining the Dow Jones mini futures and the Dow Jones index, making new lifetime, all-time. Got to celebrate those new highs as the bull market continues. But it's this holiday creep. This is typical. Not guaranteed, no, certainly not. But it's a bullish tendency for the market to drift a little bit higher throughout the end of November and the end of December. So plenty of examples of that in the last few years. And that's what we're getting, at least on the short-term basis. A little bullish holiday drift. But that's not the case in the Russell. This is not, it's bullish, but it's not drift. It is straight up. It is persistently up. That is the small cap index. That's where we are as we push into Wednesday. The Thanksgiving holiday is Thursday, and Friday is a half trading session. So we do expect volume in general to continue falling, although the Russell volume rose today, as did the S&P. So that's a little bit abnormal in terms of holiday drift. The volume is a little bit higher than normal. At least it's creeping to the upside. True in the S&P and the others. So what's the play? What's the thought process? What's the logic here? Well, that which is strong gets stronger. That which is weak gets weaker. In our sector performance, let me highlight three sectors today. That is the XLF, which is our financial sector. Some of the top stocks of the day were financial names. They include Wells Fargo, Citigroup. We can take a look at Bank of America, Bank of New York Mellon, Morgan Stanley. That's right there. Is that a new all-time high? It is not a new all-time high. And the others play in there too. Just looking at this comparatively, not JP Morgan, nope, not a new all-time high. And I want to see Goldman Sachs, right? Not new all-time highs. Compare back to here where they are on the monthly chart. So that's the financial sector. Looking at the bigger picture, not all-time highs. Technology, sure enough, that is, if there ever was an all-time high, there's the technology ETF. We'll look at the energy coming off the lows. That's a big percent gain, but it's not really making new all-time highs, nowhere near it. But energy is, and staples is, barely. Just made it this week, last week, and then the healthcare, just recently. Not there yet, but coming off those highs. That's a bigger picture comparison. In today's trading session, energy is getting a big boost, and that's in part because crude oil has been going through some trend days, and today notwithstanding. This is a lot of gaps on the chart, on the overnight charts, but on the intraday frame, there has been noted bullish behavior, and that is to the upside. Now the other thing is gold. Gold's going down, trending lower, and is now hitting that 1,800 per ounce key level. That'll take you back to the 200-day simple moving average and to our weekly chart. That'll take you down just about to the 50-week moving average. So yes, like the Dow, like anything, gold can be volatile and it can fall very, very quickly. That happened in earlier, actually, this is that Corona crash. Not much to speak about in gold, but the mid-year recovery, all the stimulus and all the treasuries and the Fed and the policies about bailout, stimulus, all the monetary actions that helped boost gold to the upside. But it has since come down from the 2,100 peak. So 2,100 down to 1,800. And again, that is crude oil, and gold, two key commodities we watch. Other than that, in terms of the bond market, TLT is sort of similar, not perfect, but similar to gold. And that's true with the ZN, although it's flat, coming down, and ZB, which is your 30-year bond, a treasury bond, which is right there. So just all we're saying in this video, a quick pre-holiday update here on Tuesday, is that we do have the bullish equity drift. Should not be necessarily surprising from a little historical standpoint, but it's always interesting to see it. And for those on the intraday trade, there's advantages to the upside. And for the swing trade, the swing traders, this is either pain as we creep higher against new all-time highs, or profit with joining the trend, either strategy. Now, before we go, we'll take a look at, again, in terms of the advanced decline, it was almost a 1-to-1 day. It was actually a 9-to-1. 91 stocks were positive, 9 were negative. In our scan, these are our stocks that are strong right now, that are getting stronger. And in fact, specifically, these were stocks in the S&P 500, Tesla notwithstanding, right? Not quite there yet. TSLA, Tesla, not there. Will be in December. But they're making new, in the scan here at thinkorswim, new 52-week highs. And if you just go to the weekly chart, you can see some, if not maybe most, many at least, are doing all-time highs, joining with the market. So by market cap, there's just 55 stocks in the S&P 500, so 10%, are making new 52-week highs. These are our leadership names, the leadership group. That which is strong does tend to get stronger. Market cap leaders include Berkshire Hathaway, Comcast, AbbVie Labs, Accenture, UP, and there's some financial companies, Morgan Stanley, BlackRock, there's Caterpillar, Target, FedEx, and others. We'll take a quick glance as we do just some of the names there on the list. We'll take a look at Morgan Stanley, and the logic as it gets stronger. We take a look at Caterpillar, and that's when I like to go ahead and recommend trades and do my own plays, bullishly buying either in on spreads or vertical spreads, call spreads, bullish spreads on pullbacks, retracements. Not there yet. And the target is often the prior high. And this is an uptrending stock getting stronger. Target is there with it, and that's a strong pullback. We've mentioned this pullback before, trade ideas, and the recent one as well. Target continues to make this new 52-week high list. And yes, it is new all-time highs. Double check that. Yes, Target is clearly making new all-time highs. A few others just to look at. There's Target on the intraday with many, many trends to the upside. And FedEx, little deliverer. FedEx, we have holidays coming up, right? But it too has two pullbacks, led to the new high. And we had General Motors strong. We also take a look at Lam Research and some of the big caps. AbbVie Labs, not necessarily the strongest stock, but it is up there too. So as you formulate your holiday plans in the next week, right? There's a bullish holiday drift this week, but we'll be ready to go. Any type of trades you have on or hold through the holidays, next week will be the next, pushing us into December, or through clearly into the last month of 2020, which will be interesting to be part of. And then 2021 will be upon us before we know it. As always, be careful and safe. This is Corey Rosenblum with tonight's Theo video update for November 24th, 2020.